The Grim Dungeon Keeper 2 came out in 1999, and fans have been waiting a quarter century for a third installment. But while Peter Molyneux sells NFT, participants and Electronic Arts squeezes the juices out from the franchise, the It's Good to Be Evil formula is maintained by the team of a Realmforce studio. The fourth installment of Dungeon series is finalized V that deserves your attention even despite this fact. After Electronic Arts' birth Dungeon Keeper, the iconic series about the battle between evil and good has had its fair share of imitation: War for the Overlord, Evil Genius, and Dungeon series. The first installment of Dungeons exactly copied Silence Elsa AP and at some point became undistinguishable from outright plagiarism. In the sequel, the authors realized a long-standing dream of Dungeon Keeper fans in this prequel. The internal evil was support to learn that came out of the catacombs into the fresh air, but the game itself never came to life. Dungeons, on the other hand, was a mix of Dungeon Manager with traps and real-time strategy on the Land of Heroes. Players has two maps: Advanced, Ground, and Underground. The development scheme was clear and simple: build the infrastructure of the dungeon, set traps, pumps upgrades, and gather a merry band of monsters to loot and destroy good things on the surface. Dungeon 3 features a human storyline with Talia, a dark elf who regularly breaks the fourth wall. Thanks to her, Dungeon 3 receives the best rating from the community, and now the fourth one is coming out, as much as the sixth year of the prequel, and we immediately remember why we love the comical imitator of the classical so much. One of the best things about Dungeons 4 it is funny post-modern plot, which is really interesting to follow. Thanos, the Paladin of Light, went cuckoo in the third installment and went on the real genocide in the game Name of God. Talia, a villain who acted on behalf of Absolute Evil, destroyed Thanos and unexpectedly restored balance in the magical world, where after his death there is less evil. However, Talia has a half-brother, Tristan, who cannot forgive her for Thanos' death. Tristan is noble undergod elf who has studied advanced magic but hasn't stopped being a loser. The step-brother and step-sister jokes is invidious here, but served up tastefully. So at the start of the game, Talia gets Thanos' gauntlet, which even looks almost identical to one of the Marvel movie universe. Talia snaps her fingers, and her former boss, the Dungeon Lord, suddenly dies. So now, the ultimate evil is Talia herself. She declares holy war on Tristan and his gnome protectors. The narrative constantly puts the events upside down, with the extremist wizards trying to rescue Talia herself from captivity during several missions, or babysitting the heir of Absolute Evil, who was reborn in the form of the cute goblin. There are as much reference here as in Deadpool. The mini-evil arc alone references the Lion King. Of course, the old villain will return too. It's not for nothing that the good master had necromancy in the fourth part, is it? Dungeon 4 is both strategy and management. We play the role for the manager of evil guys, who need to build a normal infrastructure of the dungeon, in which orcs always have enough chickens for food, and demons can go to the room of their relaxation and relieve stress after the imposition of courses of the good guys. Making the dungeon run like clockwork is only half of the challenge. The heroes are constantly coming from the surface to steal our gold, and in the deep section of the dungeon there are monsters who hit out army with every fiber of their being. Having managed to sort out the problem underground a bit, on the surface awaits the second gameplay layer, real-time strategy. Tools there are not less than this dungeon, although at first glance it seems that it's enough to select all the frame and set fire to the good. On the surface, there are constantly some problems. In one of the missions, for example, it periodically rains ready to rain, and its troops will not only get their feet wet, but also in strong debuffs. We have units of 3 different factions and exactly one hero, Talia. The key to success lies to the right combination of troops. You can of course invest in upgrading all of them, but it would take too much money and dungeon rooms. You had to prioritize, make the right sense. It all plays like Warcraft 3 or Year of Rain, but with the correction of the little casualization. The thing is that the intentionally fun spirit of the game implies not too much difficulty on the way of victory. Realm Forge doesn't want players to sweat too much, so they ignore buying new DLC with the same simple missions. That's why its gameplay in general is much simpler than in the serious RTS games. So what they managed to do in 6 years? Outside of the story there isn't much innovation in the 4, but the baseline of the third installment, for which DLC has been released over the year, still work fine. In many ways Dungeon 3 and Dungeon 4 feel the same, and it will be hard to find different with the naked eye. If you weren't for the new story branch and support for a copy mode, it could be very cold in Dungeon 3 and half. Seriously, we haven't been given any new factions at our disposal. Absolute Evil still only has access to baby goblins, who perform the tasks of laborers in the dungeons, as well as the demon faction, the undead faction and the horde faction with its orcs and gremlins. The development scheme is the same: build a dungeon and take out everyone on the surface. Postal and Rainbow Stanway, under the control of the good, are quickly repeated before our eyes into gloomy and trimmed landscapes, changing their color even on minimap. In this game, the author paid more attention to heroic mission. Often you will have control Talia and small detachment of troops. As a reference to the classics, the Super Demon summoning spell finally appears. Alas, summoning the Prince of Hell will cause through the pentagram, not the Hornet Reaper, the right to which we are carefully kept in the legal dungeons of Electronic Arts, but a much less colorful villain. However, is still a nice touch, which makes a new dungeon akin to the classic Dungeon Keeper. The authors have provided a lot of equitative changes to the construction aspects. True reality menu, for example, traps are now created through a separate menu. No need to choose a workshop and work on sophisticated killing tools here. Sorcery have also become more convenient, and now Talia has a separate line of spells, which is located next to the global spells. That said, some aspects of good Dungeon Keeper successor are still missing. Our creation don't have a casino to squander money in, nor a torture room to bring heroes to the side. That mess. The game makers from the Munich didn't reboot Iron Maiden. They added a cooperative mode to the title, in which two players control a single dungeon, allowed a campaign and even skirmish maps to play with a suitable candidate, but most other things are only weakly different from the third installment. Yet there are dwarves and their signature unit in the form of Heart of the Kitchen Legs. Dungeon maps have become 4 times larger, at least built a cover with rooms for punishment of good. But damn it, visually the game is like 2 drops similar of the third part, except the texture were tightened. Despite 85 positive reviews on Steam, some people are still dissatisfied with a small amount of real new content. It's clear that the author mixed up all an already clear thing with a small dose of novelties, which could have been squeezed into a third part in the form of the large DLC. But publisher Calypso Media needs more minerals as a result. Dungeon 4 sells for $50, with veteran of the series hardly finding that much reason to buy on full price. Of course, for this getting equivalent with Dungeons for the first time, there were reasons to grab the most comfortable version possible. It makes as much sense as buying the brand new Stronghold Definitive Edition instead of Stronghold HG. In other words, in terms of same quality, Dungeon 4 now resembles an optional but still enjoyable sequel. Thank you.